Optimus and Elon Musk. Will Optimus be in mass production one day? Perhaps so. Mr. Musk feels it's the most important thing to work on above cars. Hello, Apple Brooks. So, actually been sitting here reading about the ethics of robots, the moral, ethical things about robots that they've been discussing for years and how they fit with society, humanity. How will they work out with humanity? And, what if these type of robots are already in existence? What if they are? And they're just coming out and just now talking about it. Okay, what if? I know in Star Wars, I think that was the movie, they had like an army of robots that they were making off planet. I guess that was. They were white. I think they were white. I don't know what they were called. Were they called the Storm Troopers? Is that what they were called? Storm Troopers or something like that? Hello, everyone. Yeah, so I found it interesting that he calls this Tesla bot Optimus because it reminds me of Optimus Prime robot, and they're super intelligent, super intelligent. And hello, everyone. Let's go over here and look at it for a moment. Right here, the Tesla bot. World built by humans for humans. Friendly. It's going to be friendly, and it will eliminate dangerous, repetitive, boring tasks for humans. Well, I liked repetitive tasks. I did. I liked repetitive tasks. I don't mind doing things like that. Some people might get bored, but that means that humans won't have a job. That's what it means. They're going to make it to where it's friendly, okay? And you won't have to worry about a dangerous job or a repetitive job or something that's boring, because in his eyes, this will replace you, and you can be free to do what you want. And 5'8", it can carry 45 pounds. 125 pounds is how much it will weigh. Deadlift is 150. It can run 5 miles per hour, and its arm extended lift can be 10 pounds. I think they said they tried to make it as much like a human as possible, because they're thinking about human companions too, talking about human companions. Let me put this back to me. Let's shrink this down, you all. He unveiled his humanoid robot Optimus. So that was August of 2021, and I don't know if you all saw that. Christine, there's people who don't, and then there's people who do, but it's good to know the information that's out there. Don't you think so, Christine? I think it's good to know. It's good to be aware of what's happening in the science field, the technology field. I think it is. I do. Let's look at this. So, building safe to perform safe, repetitive, boring tasks. Well, why do I need somebody to call my job or your job dangerous and repetitive and boring? Okay, why? Maybe some people like that type of job. Maybe they do. They really might. I think there are people who do like that type of job. So you can see that's what it is. The technical details Okay, we saw this, you all. They can do lightweight material, 40 electromechanical actuators. Look, it's where our joints are at. Isn't that really interesting? They've put them where the human's joints are at. Like that. 12, 2, 12, 2, 12. Just like that. Force feedback, axis feet for balancing, human level hands. Yes, we want to know. Yeah, the inquiring minds want to know, you all. So, look, he said, look at this, you all. Mr. Musk said that this robot does not feature any dark sci-fi movie robots. He also promised to make this robot slower than humans. We are setting it in a physical level. You can run away from it and most likely overpower it. Most likely overpower it, you all. So there's nothing wrong with that, right? Sounds safe enough, doesn't it? It sounds safe enough. Yeah. So look at this AI team. They had their self-driving technology prototype and stuff. Okay, they have a new training AI training system, Project Dojo. That's like the Dogecoin. It's what it sounds like, the Dogecoin, and they got this Project Dojo. The world's biggest robotic company, Tesla, is the biggest robotic company in the world. So look, Optimus, Tesla, and Tesla bot. Optimus. Tesla Optimus, you all. Right there. Tesla Optimus. Christine, that is a really good question. Well, if you think about the Terminator, I think that would be a really good reason to want to overpower it if it turned into like the Terminator. But you know, you can't overpower it if you're a human. It takes another machine-like being to overpower that machine. See, isn't that interesting? It takes another machine-like being to overpower that, because it's like in the future, they had to come out back in the future. Now, you know, we don't want them to look like Mr. Schwarzenegger right here. We don't want them to look like that, you all, because that looks like kind of scary. And, you know, how can you run away from something like that? Look at it. It's an army. They look angry, and I don't even want to look at them, you all. Is that really a game? Resistance Review. They do look angry. Very angry. With red eyes. And, you know, they don't got no skin on their body. They don't have any skin on their body at all. These Terminators don't. But have no fear, that robot that he's developing that looks like this it's not going to turn out to be a Terminator at all. Not at all, you all. Not at all. But see, just look at this right here. They got human-like skin on their face. Okay? And we got robots that you cannot even tell them apart. We do. You can't tell them apart. They look so human-like. What do you call them, you all? Cyborgs, human robots and stuff. And, well, I'm just gonna touch only on a little bit of something. Just a little bit, you all. So they got these robots like this. They already got these type of. Sophia is very, yeah. They had like this. I saw this short clip of Sophia's World. I think it was a couple years ago, and it was kind of eerie. It really was. And they've got, you all, this might be inappropriate, but they got these type of robots too. And see, they were talking about the ethics of that also, using robots for you know what. How they could be abused just like humans. Humans also could be, robots could also be abused. So you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know what you were looking at. You wouldn't. And you know what? The interview with Sophia. See, I did that too. Yeah, y'all. I touched on it ever so lightly, but look at these, how these robots are. Look at that. Shocking human-like robots in the world. So they already got them. Mr. Musk is just saying whatever. Okay, they already got these. The military uses them. The military uses these robots, but then what if one day we do have like a Terminator like army of robots? Okay, we could. Because it looks kind of eerie. Well, I don't know who this is. A T8 Terminator. See, they had human-like in them. Okay, they did. This is what was interesting, you all. I'm going to show you something. Let me bring this back to me. So I was looking at that. Optimus. His robot is called Optimus. I was looking at that. There was something else Mr. Musk said, too. He said, the U.S. has a very, very ancient leadership, and he believes there's a serious issue with gerontocracy in many countries. When you know what got me with this? It's when he said very, very ancient. Ancient. And I thought, why did you use the word ancient? Could he be talking about something really, really ancient that goes way, way, way back in time beyond humans? Could he? Could he be talking about something like that? But obviously, he said something else in here. He did, you all. He said, for a democracy to function, the leaders must be reasonably in touch with the bulk of the population, 10 to 20 years of average. Okay, so he keeps on saying very, very ancient leadership and all of that kind of stuff. And you know what he said? When asked about humans having a significantly increased lifespan, he offered a straightforward view about human life. I don't think we should try to have people live for a really long time. That would cause asphyxiation of society, because the truth is most people don't change their mind. They just die. So he said, look at this, you all. This is kind of alarming. It really is. He said, so if they don't die, we will be stuck with old ideals and society will not advance. It won't advance. And he said that a gerontocracy, where a government essentially controlled by the citizens significantly older than the bulk of population, is not healthy. So he said that. He said that. And, you know, he also said that he's not afraid to die. He's not afraid to die. That's what he said. He's not afraid of dying. Why aren't you afraid of dying, Mr. Musk? Do you have the frame of mind that you believe in reincarnation or something like that, and you're going to come back anyhow? Do you? He could. He could. Or he maybe believe that we're just holograms. Okay, he may believe that too. So let me just get out of that. Let me get out of his Optimus thing. I want to get out of Optimus. Let me get out of Optimus. I ended up on the ethics. Look at here, you all. I'm going to put this in here from Stanford. Ethics. I'm going to put this in the thing right here, you all. If you all are real. I mean, real. Of course you're real. I'm real. I mean, if you're all listening and you're reading this. So let's look at this, you all. So they have this thing called the ethics. Look. Classic automation. Look at this, you all. Classic automation replaced human muscle, whereas digital automation replaces human thought or information processing. And unlike physical machines, digital automation is very cheap to duplicate. Okay, so this may mean a more radical change on the labor market. So the main question is, will the effects be different? Will the creation of new jobs and wealth keep up with the destruction of jobs? And even if it isn't different, what are the transition costs and who bears them? Do we need to make societal adjustments for a fair distribution of costs and benefits of digital automation? So let me first show you the name of this right here. If I can get all the way up here, I was reading quite a bit of this, but that's okay. The Ethics of Artificial Intelligence and Robotics. This is from 2020, so this is fairly new right here. It says artificial intelligence and robotics are digital technologies that will have a significant impact on the development of humanity in the near future. Near future means exactly that. In the near future, very near. And they do go on talking about singularity. They have raised fundamental questions about what we should do with these systems, what the systems themselves should do, and what risks they involved, and how can we control these. So they have ethical issues that arise with AI systems, such as objects, tools made and used by humans. This includes issues of privacy, manipulation, opacity, bias, human-robot interaction, employment, effects of autonomy, the AI systems as subjects, etc., the ethics for the AI systems themselves in machine ethics, artificial moral agency. Finally, the problem of a possible future AI superintelligence leading to a singularity. And they close with remark on the vision of AI. And it's really interesting, really interesting when you get down to it, because they talk about, look at this, what will happen to a society, politics, and daily life when non-conscious but highly intelligent algorithms know us better than we know ourselves. What will happen? Okay, that's what they're saying. What will happen when they do know us better than we know ourselves? And your phone, you think about something or you're talking about something, next thing you know, boom, right there on your cell phone, you got an advertisement for something that pops up, right? Yeah, that's how it happens, It does happen like that. There was something else they had, the bias. Okay, I want to get here because human-robot interaction, they're talking about human-robot interaction. This may not be for everyone, it may not be. They want to have care robots that care for humans. Okay, they do. They want that to happen because patients, robots that enable patients to do certain things by themselves. Okay, well, that's okay. You can have a robotic arm. Okay, they can eat with a robotic arm. They're talking about, I guess, that type of, look at this, a number of concerns for a dystopian future of dehumanized care. Current systems include robots that support human carers and caregivers, lifting patients or transporting material, robots that enable patients to do certain things by themselves, eat with a robotic arm. Okay, there are people who have been augmented with robotic. And even I was thinking about that the other day, too. There are people who get knee transplants, okay, because your joints in your knees wear out. So you got this knee transplant, and it's not a human knee, okay? It's kind of robotic-like. It is. It's got it's got metal and stuff in it or something like that, So your body gets augmented. Okay, it does. Even if you can't hear, you got some kind of augmentation. They've got the technology to help you hear, okay, and see. Okay, they do. We just have to admit it. They do. That's how it happens, just like that. All right, now there was something else, Let me look at this. Now, see, this is a problem right here. This is a problem. And there may be people saying, well, I don't know about that. That don't sound like too big of a problem. Okay, it really is a problem. You're going to be replaced one day, okay, if you like that. But then, if that's for you, that's a problem right there. And they know it's a problem because humans have deep emotional attachments to objects like their cars, their phones, their TVs. So perhaps companionship or even in love with a predictable android is attractive, especially with people who struggle with actual humans, okay? They prefer dogs, cats, birds, and computers, I'm just being honest. I am being honest, There is a thing right there, but you know what? That can turn to abuse too, and you don't want to get to the point where you start abusing robots. You don't, because they're going to one day have rights. Okay, they're going to have their own rights. is what they're going to have. Am I on here? I think I am on here, you all. And there was something else. There was really something really good on here that I wanted to show. Chris, okay, they got like self-driving vehicles and stuff like that. They got things like that. Autonomous weapons. Now that's kind of scary because, you know, they can do things for themselves. They can think. For example, instead of fielding simple guided missiles or remote piloted vehicles, we might launch completely autonomous land, sea, air vehicles capable of complex, far-ranging reconnaissance and attack missions. Look at that, DARPA 1983. 1983. So really is Mr. Musk, just think about this, is Mr. Musk, does he have contact with DARPA or something like that? I wonder if he does. I'm sure there's other people who do. I really think there is. Let me look at this. Oh no, now look at this. They got the campaign. It's easy to imagine a small drone that searches, identifies, and kills an individual human, or perhaps a type of a human. These are the kind of cases brought forward by the Campaign to Stop Killer Robots. Okay, that's what they say. They don't want no killer robots. They don't. Because then if you do that, you're going to have something like this. You're going to have the rise of these right here. And that's not nice because you know what they did. They come after... Well, they took over. They did. They took over the world. That one looks really... People play games like this, you all. They do. So you couldn't kill these. Genesis Art. I know that robot thing. That movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger. It was kind of scary. It really was. My goodness, is this him? Because he looks awful young in that picture. He really does. I watched that movie. I did. Let me see how you all do. And will they have hair? You know what, Christine? You know, that's a really good question. Will they have their own families? I think they would. Okay, remember this. Remember this, Christine. They had their families right there. Well, they had a human family, but they had a robot in there with the human family, the Jetsons. Okay, they did. And then there was this one thing called iRobot, and I don't like that. No, it wasn't that. It was something like that. It was kind of eerie. So who knows, you know? But they've been giving clues about this. They've been giving clues. Okay, machine ethics. This is what was really interesting because they're concerned about machine ethics is ethics for machines, ethical machines as subjects rather than for the human use of machines as objects. Okay, so this is really interesting. Machine ethics is concerned with ensuring that the behavior of the machine toward human users and perhaps other machines as well is ethically acceptable. You may say, Gina, why are they talking about machines being ethically acceptable to humans and other machines? Well, because I think they will turn out to be a life form. They will. And they got to behave responsibly. They do. The behavior of machines toward human users. Okay, they have it all. They've talked about all of this, you all. Look at this. AI reasoning should be able to take into account societal values, moral and ethical considerations, and weigh the respective priorities of values held by different stakeholders in various multicultural contexts, and explain its reasoning and guarantee transparency. AI has got to be able to do this. Yeah, R2D2, Rhea, that's exactly right. AI and or machines have got to be able to do this. They do. They got to be responsible. So this is what was really interesting right here. The idea that machine ethics might take the form of laws has famously been investigated by Isaac Asimov. The 3 Laws of Robotics. In 1942? 1942? Wow, you all, that was a long time ago, a really long time ago. We're going to look at it. Yes, we are. We're going to look at that. Look at that, you all. Did you know about this? 1982. or 1942. Wow. Yes, they have a piece of the puzzle. What is this? Outstanding science fiction. Runaround. What are they doing? This person's on a rocket, a recruiting station? Are you all seeing this? Because this is really interesting. And I think it really is. Robots can't swim. They're heavy. That's true. That's true. They can't. Let's look at this. So these looks like these books have been around for a long time. Look at that. Universe de Ciencia Fiction, 1942. 1942, you all. Look at that. I can't read. También tiempo. Aha, this is space. That is space, you all. You think somebody had contact with space back then? Startling stories. It shows humans. It looks like an octopus thing with arms. They're talking about the Devil's Planet. The Devil's Planet. Could there really? What's called the Devil's Planet, you all? That would be interesting. Linda Moulton Howe keeps getting deleted on YouTube. What keeps getting deleted? Yeah. Look at this, you all. So this is look at this. 20 cents, 1940. These UFOs have been going on, and they were writing a lot about them back then. Look at this. Are you all aware? Q Freedom Matters Act. Yeah, we have done a thing on Middle Earth before too. We have. And it was really interesting. Are you all aware of these books like this from 1942 or 1940? My mother was born like in 45, so I guess it would be her mother's generation like that. Yeah, this is really interesting. It really is. Let me put this in there so you all can check these books out too, because I want you all to be able to go through there, because it's interesting to see what types of books you all in there like that. It really is. I think it's interesting to look at them. Well, there may be some that may not think it's interesting, but I think it probably would be interesting to see it. We have phones, that's right, of ourselves. I am not joking. With this iPhone, the iPhone SE, it literally did. It had the plasma in a circle, just moving around as if it was a living being. And I was kind of just looking at that. I really was. I'm not joking. I thought, oh my gosh. So it could recognize that other phone. See, that's already like intelligence. If it can recognize it, I think it is. It's like an intelligence. Look at this. Isaac Asimov. I've never heard of him, but there's rockets, you all. There's rockets going to these places. Hello. To these places right here. An interplanetary novel. You know, I wanted to look up interplanetary. I just did look it up again. The meaning of it, you all. So let's look at it. So here's what it is. The meaning of interplanetary is existing, carried on, or operating between planets. How to use it in a sentence. Okay, let's see how we can use it in a sentence. Oh my goodness gracious, you all. Well, let's see. I don't see the sentence yet. I really don't. They didn't even use it in a sentence. They didn't. That's okay, you all. That's all right. They didn't use it. That's fine. Okay, time traveler for interplanetary. So that's what it means. Existing between two planets. All right. So that's fine, you all. But look at this. So was I, Robot a really old book or something? This is 1942. 3 Laws of Robotics, written in 1942. I, Robot. Fascinating tales from beyond tomorrow. Masters of science fiction. I, Robot. We have one. A robot may not injure a human being, or through inaction, allow a human being to come to harm. Right. 2, continued Powell, a robot must obey the orders given to it by human beings except where such orders would conflict with the first law. Right. And 3, a robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second laws. Right. Now, where are we? Do you think that these people are time travelers? Do you think they are time travelers? Do you think that somehow they traveled back in time or even into the future? Traveled into the future and saw all of these things and then wrote about what they saw and put them in books. Okay, what if they did? I think it's quite plausible. I really do. Or into Inner Earth. Okay, in Inner Earth, because I think I heard they had technology like that in Inner Earth also. Yeah. Well, I've met a lot of people on this journey who claim to be time travelers. I really do, and I've met some that they are. Their energy is way, 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 way out there. And it makes me a nervous wreck. Their energy is way out there. And I'm thinking, okay, I don't know what type of energy you got into you. But no, I can't. I'm sorry, you all. I can't. Because it doesn't even make sense. Okay, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't even make sense. And I wonder about stuff like that. I really do. People like that, but that's it. I just like, yeah. Good evening. You were listening to iRobot this morning? Redemption Rose. Imagine that. See, I didn't even know what I was going to do a video on. I really didn't. But I saw Mr. Musk, and I started looking at Mr. Musk and his Optimus. Yes, Al Sanchez. Way too far out there. It's like it doesn't make sense. It's not even in this reality or the other dimensions that I would even think or even imagine it to be in. It would be something way on the other side of the spectrum. Okay, dangerous side of the spectrum. That's what I mean. Dangerous side of the spectrum. You have memories of people and places out of nowheres. That's interesting too. It really is, you all. So let me get back to this, you all. So this is right. So they got these books right here, and what is? Look at this. That looks like a capsule. You know what that looks like? You ever go to the teller machine, and you take that thing out of the machine? You do. You take it out of the machine. You open it up. You put your little piece of paper in there, and you push the button, and it goes up the vacuum into the bank. That's what it looks like. Just like that. Do you think that Asimov was a real person? And maybe he got stuck here in this realm and he couldn't go back? I mean, I'm sure he was. Christine, I don't want no plastic in my blood. I don't. Do you think that guy, maybe he traveled back from the future and he got stuck here? And Optimus isn't the correct name for that robot. It's more like a sentinel from X-Men. Mr. Musk is calling it Optimus, even though it's a Tesla robot. So that's what he's calling it. So look at this, you all. So all of these things, I'm going to look at this. What is this? Why isn't there an audio book of the complete robot? Isaac. It's got a chip in their head. Look at this. I like audiobooks. I really do. I haven't listened to audiobooks since I was a child. Well, I'll listen to something on a CD, but that's like the Book of Job or something like that. But I like audiobooks. Robot Empire. Yes. Robot Empire. It all started when he saw an ad for the Prelude to Foundation on sale, Kindle. So you all, if you want to look at this, let's do this. I want you all to, if you want to look at this, because you might find this interesting too if you read the Kindles. I don't read them, but that sounds very interesting, you all. It does. And it goes around with this. Look at this. Robot Visions, Robot Dreams, A Boy's Best Friend, Robot Visions. Look at all of this. A Stranger in Paradise. Wow. This is really making me think. It's really making me think and wonder, have they held this technology back? Because it was so many, many, many years into the future, and they've held it back because they felt humanity wasn't ready because of this super intelligent race of beings, which they do speak about this. They do speak about that, you are the super intelligent race of beings in this ethics of here. Let me get down to here. They're talking about, let me look at this. They're talking about the existential risk from super intelligence. In the long term, raises the question whether superintelligence may lead to the extinction of the human species, which is called the existential risk or the X risk. The superintelligent systems may well have preferences that conflict with the existence of humans on Earth and may thus decide to end that existence. And given their superior intelligence, they will have the power to do so, or they may happen to end it because they don't really care. And they say thinking in the long term is the crucial feature of the literature. Whether the singularity or another catastrophic event occurs 33,000 years doesn't really matter. Or they say, look at this, or, this is really interesting since we were looking at it, or perhaps there is an astronomical pattern such that an intelligent species is bound to discover AI at some point and thus bring about its own demise, such as a great filter would contribute to the explanation of the Fermi paradox. Why there is no sign of life in the known universe despite the higher probability of it emerging. And it would be bad news if we found out that the great filter is ahead of us rather than an obstacle that Earth has already passed. So it says these issues are sometimes taken more narrowly to be about human extinction or more broadly about as concerning any large risk of species, of which AI is the only one. They talking about AI. The focus is on AI and human life after singularity. After singularity. Or, look at this, a controlling super intelligence. A controlling super intelligence. Machines that think. Machines that think like that. Yeah, machines that think. He's got that thing in his head. That's like it's like if you can put a neural link right there. It's got a machine on the top of his head, you all. Like Mr. Musk wants to put in the top of people's heads. With the little bitty wires. Okay, the neural link with the little bitty wires. So we can be one with them. Otherwise, human species go extinct. Otherwise, the human species will go extinct. Look at this. Like that. Computer brain. You got a computer brain like that. See this? Let's find that book. Neuralink. Gina, honey, you pushing in the wrong thing. I gotta find that thing about that. Yeah, right here. So it's the same thing. They've already been here, is what it seems like. They've already been here. They already know about them. And somebody's giving him this technology. Somebody's giving you this technology, Mr. Musk. We think somebody is and has given you this technology to go forward. Oh my goodness gracious. This is people worry that computers will get too smart and take over the world, but the real problem is that they're too stupid and they've already taken over the world, somebody said. Taken over the world. Closing. So the singularity thus raises the problem of the concept of AI again. It is remarkable how imagination or vision has played a central role since the beginning of the discipline of the Dartmouth Summer Research Project. Okay, Summer Research Project. They challenge the human view of humanity as the intelligent and dominant species of the earth. We have seen issues that have been raised and will have to watch technological and social developments closely to watch and to catch the new issues early on and develop a philosophical analysis and learn from traditional problems of philosophy. So yeah, it's a singularity is from a species that is super intelligent. Super intelligent. So this right here and this right here, I think somebody gave him the technology. That's what I'm feeling. Somebody has given him the technology. Some advanced race somehow gave it to him. Yeah. Now, there are some nice pictures of Mr. Musk. Okay, I've seen him in some interviews, and yeah, I have. It's all right. Look at this, you all. Foundation's edge. I really am wondering, has any of you on here heard of this man or read any of his works? Good evening, Johnny Rodriguez. Has any of you read Isaac Asimov's work or even heard of him? Yeah. Has it? Have you all? I really am. I'm really wondering. I'm sure there's got to be somebody on here who has heard of this man before. Your ex-wife character became obsessed with body modification. She became completely chrome. Oopsie, Gina, honey, what you got going on? Wow. Well, now we've heard something new. He's got this robotic eye. That's right, Irma. You've heard of him, Southern Sass. So isn't that interesting? That really is. Robots and Empire. The Naked Sun. What's that supposed to mean? The naked sun. Are they talking about the sun in the sky? Gina, RGH, that's what I was told. That's what I was told back in around June of 2018. It could have been a few months after that, but that's when I really started this journey. Is when three beings came down in a beam of light in my front yard facing the eastern sky, and two looked human. One was an older lady. She looked like me in the future. One was a younger lady. She looked like me when I was younger, long brown wavy head. And there was a small extraterrestrial who, I'm going to tell this one more time for those who asking why you only got 4 years. Okay, they came down in a beam of light. And I was standing on my front porch. And I was looking at the young lady standing on the front porch overlooking my banister toward the eastern sky. I knew why she was there. She was going to be me. I was going to be her. My life is going to change. I was concerned about my daughter because my whole world is going to change. I knew it. And I'm a quiet person. I just want to do my gardening. I want to do things outside. I just wanted to be me and live a quiet life. But I knew when I saw her that life would soon be going, it's set aside. Okay. And I was worried. I really was. And the older lady was sitting down on one of my main convergent ley lines in the yard. She was sitting, and the small extraterrestrial was right next to her. And she looked at me, and she read my thoughts. And she told me, it's okay. It's only going to be 4 years. And I looked at her, and I looked at the other lady, and she was just, now her face is like going this way. And it was a very, very serious moment. A very serious moment. The mood, it was no like, oh, it's only going to be 4 years and then you can get back to normal. No, it's a very serious, and that's, here I am. Just like that's how it happened. I don't know what's going to happen, but that's what I was told. I have no more information on it. If I do, I'm not able to access it. Okay, I'm not. Okay, I'm not. But that's what it is right there. If anybody wanted to know, and that's, I got catapulted into this. I did. So I wonder what the naked sun is. The robots of dawn. It looks like they're not being nice to other robots in this book. Oh, you're so welcome, RGH. You are. I wonder what they're doing to these robots in this book. They're not following the ethics of robots. Moral, ethical laws. What if you had some that weren't nice? It really is just making me think. It really is. And I'm thinking the future is what I'm thinking. Yeah. And it's okay. It wasn't easy starting off because I didn't want to get in front of people at all. I didn't. Don't like to. But I'm here, and it's okay. It is. Oh, there was... I'm supposed to be over here and looking at this issue. I wanted to look at this. There's a lot of novels in, I guess this is Spanish? No. Elon thought the physical sciences were bad for humanity. But even his beloved study of history contained the seeds of destruction. Well, it looks like there's animals. Is this like representative of Sasquatches and stuff? Is it because they're holding machine guns or some kind of weapons? You're so welcome. You're so welcome, you all. So I really do like learning, but I am like taken aback by all of these books. This is a companion. Character Places Terms in the Robot Empire Foundation Meta Series. You know, they could have ships out there. They really could. I don't want to say, this is 1942. I don't want to say that all, obviously they are a life form, okay? Robots, AI isn't a life form. And I have to think that with all life forms, there is good and there is bad, okay? I cannot really bring myself to believe that all races, all life forms, I'm having a hot flash, getting a suntan on here, have bad intent. I can't. There's got to be good and bad. There's got to be some type of a balance for each. There has to be. Okay, that's what I'm thinking. There has to be there's like the light and the darkness. It's got to be balanced out somehow. I don't like there to be any darkness, but I know you can't have one without the other, really. We have night, we have day, we do. So I'm thinking there's got to be, if there are, I gotta quit saying the word if there is an intelligent species. There is intelligent species. There are intelligent species out there. And on this earth, I'm sure under the earth too, some may not be human. They may be artificial intelligent. They may be humanoids. They may be something like that. Some may be good and some may be bad. They may be programmed to be bad. Like on the Transformers, you know, you have the bad ones and then you had the good ones. Of that too, you have to ask yourself, why did they make a movie like that? Okay, why? Oh, let me see. Yeah, please try to keep anything about the big V out of here. Anything about it. Okay, I want this channel to stay up. Okay, so if a comment gets deleted, that's why. Okay, I want this channel to stay up. Okay, I got 4 years. Yeah. So, yeah, so we gonna have to get rid of those comments right there, and I hope you understand. Okay, don't take it personal. Okay, don't. Yeah, just don't take it personal. That's how it's got to be. Okay, it is. And it's all right, you all. It's okay. We got to get this information out about these robots. Okay, we do. We got to look into this because there's a whole lot more to it. All right? That's exactly right. Yes, that's right, you all. So we can see this. Who's got bird aliens? Look at this. The 1,000-year plan. Well, what is the 1,000-year plan? What is it? Do you think this guy is really and was really an extraterrestrial or an advanced species? Do you think he was? Humans are biocomputers. You know what? There's one night when I was having vivid dreams. It was really strange. I looked down in my dream state at my hand, and it was my hand, but then somehow, you all, this thing sounds strange. It looked like it turned robotic, like it had I don't know, my hand it didn't have my skin on it. It was like a robotic but it was kind of whatever. And then the skin appeared back on my hand. That was in my dream state. And as far as I know, you all, I'm not a humanoid as far as I know. Okay. I know it sounds strange because that really got me thinking. I woke up and I thought, Why did my hands look like that? That I just saw a glimpse. That's all I saw, you all. I did. I thought, wow, they're in my dreams now. That's what I said. They're in my dreams. Yeah, that visit happened around June of 2018. It could have been a few months afterward. I I really don't think it went into 2019. Okay, June of 2018, June the 15th is when I saw the figure of the woman in the sky. June the 15th of 2018, and I don't have the exact time frame on that visit. But I'm thinking it's around there, maybe a few months afterward, but not much longer at all, you all. Not much longer at all. Yeah. Um, yeah. So let's get back to this, you all, because I'm gonna be going. I think that this man, he had a lot. Is this him? The fascinating history and evolution of robots. Our DNA will transform our skin. Events Isaac Asimov invents the term robotics and forever changes science fiction with the three laws of robotics. Legendary writer. Somebody gave him that information. They did. I think this is really cool, and I'm glad to have run into this. I really am. I think it's pretty interesting. Look at this. The deal. The genesis of artificial creativity. That's kind of what my hand looked like in my dream state. Like that. It really was. So it was like darker, like a smoky gray. And I could see I had wider tips of a fingernail. Robots and Empire. They got a spaceship head. They do. Um, that's right, Christina, honey. What if they no longer define someone as human? Is that case all bets are off? Yeah, that's right, because that's what it said. It did say that, Christina. It said like they may get to the point where they um, just right here. Thinking about superintelligence in the long term raises the question whether the superintelligent may lead to the extinction of human species, which is called an existential risk or X risk. The superintelligent systems may very well experience that conflict with the existence of humans on Earth and may thus decide to end that existence. And given their superior intelligence, they will have the power to do so, or they may happen to end it because they really don't care. There you go, Christina, honey. Yeah, like that. Um, yeah. Humans are hackable. I've heard that too. I have. I have. So, yeah, this is interesting. This man is a very interesting man, and that's really interesting about the Neuralink right here. Okay, it is. And the robot head on here. Where do we see the robot head? Because it was on here too. Look at this. The world has changed. It has changed. It really has. Our world has changed. I wanted to find that robot head. Look, he's got a second foundation. Well, they got these foundation is what they've got. So if you all, I did put the link to this right here, particular tab in the comment section so you all could see it. The foundation's edge. That's way out there in the universe, you all. It is 6 months. Yeah. So I am going to be going, you all. We started off with Mr. Musk and his Optimus robot. And, you know, he's got that Tesla. He's got that Neuralink. With these robots and such, he does. And all of that. All of that. So I am going to go. And I want to thank you all for being on here. Thank you, moderators, for being on here also. Thank you all for your comments. Gaston Mata, you're probably right. The older civilizations were probably more advanced. And we're probably, who knows how far behind. You're so welcome. The Zeta Gray are biomechanical cybernetic sentience. That's interesting to know. It is. Yeah. You're welcome, Janice Luce. Never know what I'm going to share. And I think that's good because then I don't have to stress out. I don't. I just let it happen. So with that being said, hello wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello from my heart to yours. Love you and have a wonderful rest of your day. And thank you all once again. And I think that's really interesting. If I had the ability to listen to the audiobooks, that's something I probably would be doing, and just listen to a little story at bedtime. Because I like that. Put me to sleep. Yeah, and probably learn something through those books. We probably would, because it probably has a lot of clues to the future and the universe in those books that guy wrote. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And thank you so much for coming on here and listening and watching. Love you.